In this video we are going to study additional characteristics of a chiller with a condenser cooled by fans or air. A link to the previous episode is currently appearing, where we started the topic. On the screen we have a diagram where we observe an air-cooled chiller, which is being used to feed an air conditioning system in the offices of a plant, and at the same time to cool machines. Although in later episodes, we will detail about it, we can see how the installation of pipes has many components, where the system of pumps, valves and sensors stand out. The distribution of chilled water is a closed circuit, that is, it is not in contact with the outside air. This makes it much easier to maintain. However, there are industrial applications where the water temperature must be close to the freezing point, which requires the use of antifreeze substances for the water. So part of the maintenance is focused on keeping the water in appropriate conditions to avoid freezing at all times. The air-cooled condenser chiller is very attractive, especially when the customer does not have a fixed maintenance department, because the supervision of this equipment is minimal. Remember that the chilly compressor must send the refrigerant to the condenser. Therefore, if the latter is colder and with less pressure, it will be easier to introduce the refrigerant than to start condensation. This is the main reason why chillers chilled by water are more efficient than those chilled by air. The air-cooled condenser chiller requires less maintenance and less complexity to install and monitor. The air-cooled chiller is widely used for machine cooling in small factories. It is also used to condition the environment in smaller shopping centers. To dissipate tolerated thermal loads, the air-cooled chiller requires a lot of space and is noisy equipment, which must be considered in urban environments with limitations or strict regulations. The air-cooled chiller generally has a shorter useful life, as it handles higher pressures than water-cooled chillers. The investment in installations with chiller with air condensation are lower than the systems with condensation by water. Always remember that the lowest temperature that the refrigerant can reach when leaving the condenser, from an air-cooled chiller, is the dry Volvo temperature of the environment where it is installed, while in the water-cooled chiller, it is the Volvo temperature wet. It is very important that the fans of the air-cooled condenser chiller are in very good condition, thus avoiding stress on the compressors. The link to our next episode is currently appearing. We invite you to watch it and of course to subscribe to our channel and thus learn a little more about chillers.